Abby, makeup artist. This is Facebook Live. You know someone that I know, don't you? You know someone I know. Yeah, Nathan. You know him because you're his sister, right? So there's a link there. Must remember that. So, what I wanted to show you on the back of the blow dry session last week with Carol Siddons and her lovely ladies from Marks and Spencer's, I thought what I would do is I would show you the importance of a good, what we call a blowout. Now a blowout doesn't mean to say that you go and buy a bottle of vodka and you drink it in 2 glasses. No, that's not what a blowout means. A blowout means it's an American term for a big, bouncy, elegant, sexy blow dry. Okay? Now, this blow dry it's a typical Dallas lady typical Texan who's obviously walking down the street, she's elegant and the hair moves back the way away from the face. So the reason I wanted to show you this was because this was one of the looks that we did for Couture when I was part of Helen Rive, HRH hashtag, when I was part of her team in Paris 2 weeks ago. So I assisted Helen and our fabulous team, hashtag HRH, and we did this on all the models, and I just wanted to show you a couple of glimpses of what it's like backstage prepping models and then the finished article. So do you want to follow me, Katie? Don't smile, you can see your face on camera. Right, so if you look here, this is the talented Helen Rive, and this is the team that are watching what we call the demo prior to us actually touching any hair. So Helen's obviously in charge, and she's showing us what she wants us to create. And I'll just flick through, you'll see, this is what it's a typical backstage scene, where it's very busy, there's loads of hairdressers, lots of different things around. And I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is?
No idea.
No idea. Right. So, you can see there's 3 hairdressers on one head, and you see the fabulous Dyson Supersonic hairdryer. And this is what we were creating. So what we wanted to do was inject hot air upwardly in the roots to give you maximum floatability and bounce in the shape. We use a round metal brush. And the reason we use the round metal brush is because it heats up and it curves the hair. And you can see what we're doing is we're just putting them into clips, and it's very loose, it's not curly at all. And when you see me brush out Abby's hair, you'll understand why. When the hair is cooling down, it's going through a chemical process. So if you heat the hair up and then pull it, it's going to go straighter and flatter. So the secret is to go to Abby in a minute. Is to have a head full of these lovely circles, which you can see the root lift is massive in there. Alright, so that's cooled down, and that's going to give you this beautiful bounce when I brush it out. Doesn't the hair look good like that? Doesn't Abby look good like that? Beautiful. Right, anyway, back to me. So, well, there's my mate Phil, the back of his head.
And his beard.
And his beard. So, again, that's the lovely Helen, and we are taking down this girl's hair to give it a brush out. So I wanted to show you quickly what it's like as a finished look. So if you just bear with me a minute, I will find the photos. And here they are. Look, so there is an example of the models. Let's get that on the big screen. Boom. So this is what it's like. This is backstage. This is prior to the show. Don't the clothes look phenomenal? Really feminine, really sexy, and you can see the hair. It's effortless and it's bouncy. Look at that.
Wow.
I know. Wow was a word I used. So these clothes are Ralph and Russell Couture, and I just wanted to show you this because I think it's really important. Come back to me a sec. How the hair transfers from the runway, and not just the runway but couture, how it transfers to real clients, because there's not a woman in the world that doesn't want this hair. So I'll just keep flicking, and you can see how the blow dry is, there's all middle partings, and then the blow dry is just nicely finished. And you can see that what it's like, this is what's called the lineup. The lineup. This is one of the models practicing a walk. You get to see the clothes a little bit. Oh look, there's Colum, who's the backstage organizer. And you can see how beautiful these clothes are when you look up close. And this is all the hair assistants in a line here, making sure the hair is properly put in place before the girls step out. And you can see. Anyway, so what does couture stand for, Katie?
You tell me, Nelson Brown.
Well, couture basically means that the items are not available on the hanger to buy. You can only get them all by special request or made to measure. So I guess couture is a posh word for made to measure. And it's very much an individual dressing. So if somebody liked what they've seen, then they would maybe go to the designer and they would have it made to fit their body, including the shoes. So it's obviously much more high end. It's not ready to wear. It's bespoke, made for the individual. What are we doing on Tuesday, Katie?
We are.
I'm just going to take these out now, willy-nilly.
Yeah.
I just hand you my pin box. So what are we doing
You
on
want to talk about Tuesday night?
Tuesday? What's happening on Tuesday, the 6th of February?
Nelson Brown.
Do you want to go on Facebook Live yourself? Do it. Rotate the camera around, please.
As in the stuff.
No, as in rotate the camera around so people can see who you are. Because no one knows who Katie Diet is. The man, she's the woman behind the man, Abby. And you know something? Behind every good man is an amazing woman. Did you know that? Listen, without the women in my life, I would be nothing. So why don't you just prime your hair, you absolute vain toilet? Oh, right. So rotate the camera and give me the breakdown.
Or if you get someone to hold the camera.
Just rotate the camera and give me the breakdown, please. No, you can just hit the spin button. Oh. Hang on. No, you can't. Yes, you can. Boom.
Hello.
This is Katie Diet, everybody. She is, I don't know how to describe what you are. She's a good phone answerer.
I do a little bit more than that.
She buys a mean lunch.
Okay, so talking about Tuesday.
Talk to me about Tuesday. And at the same time, can you get in what I'm doing?
Yeah. Okay, so Tuesday, Nelson Brown is going to be in Lochmaben.
Oh, don't obviously get too excited. Can you just get this brushing a sec? Now, when we brush, again, people think that you should brush down the way, but when you're brushing something like this out, you shouldn't. You should brush up and let the air have an effect on the hair, okay? So I learnt that actually backstage at this show because there was a couple of girls that do like 5 or 6 of these a day, and that's what they told us, that you know, to get the texture, and you can see the root movement, the root lift is in there. Now,
Side on, you can really see.
how did I do the root lift? Can you remember what the video was? What were we doing with the airflow?
You're going up.
We were going up. So that's exactly what we do. We don't let the airflow go down. We basically encourage the hair to go from hot to cold, and the cooling down of the hair holds the security. Yeah, it sets it. Now look, when you see that, can you see what I mean? $1 million right there. Boom. So I'm really just giving it a brush, and I'm using a Mason & Pearson. Do you know what a Mason & Pearson is?
No, I do not.
Meet your best friend.
Oh, wow.
Now, the reason the masoning is so good is what, Katie Diet?
I'm not actually a hairstylist, Nelson Brown. but I can tell you that the bristles are at different lengths.
Correct. Now, there's one key piece about this whole look, one key thing, and that is that. Well, I wonder if you can actually see what the key piece is. Abby knows. I've told her.
The parting?
The
It's
crown.
a small parting.
The small parting. Well done. And you see everything lifts from the back. Can you see that? Can anybody else see that on Facebook Live? I know that it's the middle of the day and all the normal people in the world are working.
Apart from Grant and Woody.
No, well, he's never working. Grant, how are you, mate? Miss you. Surely we're going to see your handsome face soon. So, yeah, I'm just, as you can see, as I'm brushing air into the hair. You can see that, look.
So can you overbrush?
No. No, and if
can't.
in doubt, and it's not looking the way you think it should, brush more. So you can just see how it's like $1 million hair.
So how would this work if you have a fringe?
Well, I would probably keep the fringe as it was, because a lot of fringes can be quite short, and really, then if it's a static fringe, it's not going to look good swept to the side. Can you see that root lift?
Beautiful.
No spray yet. So what products have I used? I've used fortifying spray as a foundation on each section. I put it on dry, and the reason I put it on dry was because I wanted to create something that's got a lot of lift. And if you use it on dry hair, you get a lot more grit to the hair. So every section was damped down with this. Then, at the end, I'm going to use some matte texture spray. No, I'm not. I'm going to use some light satin. Why?
Because it's got a light hole, you can put as much as you want on the hair and you can easily brush it out.
Good God. She's only a phone answerer, Abby.
These are stuff.
I mean, if you worked here, how would you cope, do you think?
I don't know.
Would you like to one day, do you think?
Definitely.
What would you be?
Probably a phone answerer too. I'm not so good with the hair.
But listen, if I can teach Katie how to do it, I can
You
teach
can
you.
teach anyone.
Exactly.
I'm not that
We
bad.
love her, don't we? Now, we need to see the proof in the pudding. So, Abby, could you stand up a minute?
Yes.
And come and stand up here with me. Now, it's a lovely day today, by the way. The sun's shining, but it was snowing earlier. So, I just wanted to show you why. Katie, go further up to the end of the desk. And the proof will be in the movement. So all I need you to do, Abby, is if you go into grip and action, I want you to pretend you're going to make kiss Katie at the end. Walk up to her with figure, turn around and straight back. Just walk straight up to her with a match on. And then turn around. Can you see it? Did you see the movement? Okay, cool, isn't it? See? Okay, come back. So yeah, the hair idea is that it just looks really soft. It's got a little bit of texture. It's like really expensive hair. And who wouldn't want this? Good question. So, what's happening in Lockmaven again? What are we doing in Lockmaven again, Katie? What are we doing in Lockmaven on the 6th of
Nelson
February?
Brown is going to be in Lockmaven. The
Well,
golf club.
let me just break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to do a Facebook Live from there. I've not told them yet. But basically it's for a charity. And it's to raise money for local cancer charities in Dumfries and Galloway.
Local cancer care.
Local cancer
Cancer
care in Dumfries and Galloway. And we are giving away
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is where she gets stuck. What's that? 6, 7, 8, 9,
10.
10 prizes.
No, plus 2 more. We've gone all out, Nelson.
Oh my goodness.
We've gone for
I
12.
don't think I want to hear this. We're giving away 12 prizes, and each of the prizes is a treatment in the salon. So
For a chance to win.
for a chance to win at the treatment in the salon. You know what? You get my drift. Is it?
Yeah, but if they want to win, then they have to be at the event.
I'm going to get to that part.
Okay, good.
So if you want to come, and what will be happening on the night? Well, I'm going to be doing a makeover, which is clothing, makeup, and hair, of course. And all the styling team are going to be there. So if you want to be involved and you fancy sort of watching, you can buy tickets, I believe, from the golf club. And we're expecting a packed house. I think there's over 85 tickets sold already.
Wow.
Abby, what do you think?
That's amazing.
Isn't it, for a local charity?
It is.
So 12 prizes. 12.
12 raffle prizes.
Did you pass that by the manager?
You'll find I am the manager.
Anyway, so we'll see you guys there. And Abby's amazing hair. Guess what she's going to do now, guys? She's going to go to the gym. I mean, you know,
Gym hair.
Gym hair. So when
See
you're
how
on,
long it lasts.
when you're on that, I want you to be going like that because then we're fit, like a like that. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Facebook Live. Bye. Bye, Abby.
Bye.
Bye.